So yeah, so they told him that's all that was left. But here's the thing: they had scrub softs, so they shouldn't have used them, right? Then they asked, what's his name? They asked Horner, wouldn't it have been better for him on the last four laps to just stay with the soft tires?
Yeah.
And then Horner said, in hindsight, better. In hindsight, my ass, you're supposed to stay on top of that during race. This is why they're missing that guy that went to Albert, Saudi. I said Albert, Audi Sauber or the Albert,
Okay.
whatever.
Albert.
Wheatley. That guy was on top of all of their race. They've gone back. They don't have strategy. He said in hindsight, because what that shows you is that Verstappen knows strategy better than even his own than the engineers. Because he was surprised. He thought, but even Verstappen should have said, "Don't stop me. Just let me go on these soft." Because if they had
Yeah.
changed the tires,
If he had known that,
it would have still been scrub softs. What were you going to
if he
say,
had
Mr.
known, Cha, if he had known that there was no soft or medium, he would
Yeah,
have stayed
and
outside.
it's not his job to know that. It's the job of
Yeah,
the.
exactly. So I don't know
You know,
why they
I'm
didn't even
waiting to see
calculate that.
another. I'm waiting to see another race if where there's a yellow flag and the McLarens are behind, whether they're going to have an abnormal number of laps before we go back to the
Yeah,
race.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because McLaren have benefited from that twice now.
Twice. They've done it to him twice. To Verstappen twice. They've done it to him twice. No, I don't want to keep bitching about it because there's nothing we can do about it, and I don't want to become like these YouTube people that they say are Max Verstappen fans and say that teams cheat. But I'm just going to say that this is a very dodgy year, and also they gave McLaren 9 weeks notice that they had to change their wing, so but they could use it for 9 weeks and beat people. Then
I
they could prepare
imagine.
another week. No, no, no. This is dirty. It's a dirty sport. Let me tell you, I'm going to lie to you. I'd rather watch. If Verstappen loses, I'll still watch F1 because F1 is fun. But these other sports like rally, in rally, you don't have this type of political bullshit. It's whoever's the best wins. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you. There's a rule in there's one Formula E. If your car is faster, whoever wins, they make them put modifications to make their car slower for the next race because they want it to be equal. This is the type of thing FIA is doing. They actually
That's
had
what
that.
that's what actually what happened in Formula One too. That's in
Yeah.
Formula One just feels like the ultimate gladiatorial sport for motorsport in the world. Sort of like
Which
the
one?
100-meter dash. Sort of the way the 100-meter dash is the ultimate sprinting sport for men. It just feels like Formula One is the pinnacle of driving and motoring
But it's no
excellence.
longer that way because they're trying to balance the field. They're trying to reward drivers who are slower to let them win. It's like
yeah.
saying,
See,
it's like saying, Usain Bolt, you're too fast, so now we have to make you wear slower shoes. That's not a
exactly.
Yes, yes.
gladiator. In a,
But
in a
who's
gladiator,
competing with them? But who's
huh?
competing with them? But who's competing with
Yeah, no,
Formula One?
but you
Who's
know what it is.
competing
I
with
mean, you know
Formula
what it
One
means. You
to
know
fill
whose
that
fault it is.
space?
Let me tell you whose fault it is. It's the other drivers. It's Norris's fault for not practicing as hard as Verstappen. We want to reward excellence. We want to reward the person who works the hardest. They're not doing that. They punish the person who works the hardest by doing things to make them slower. That goes against the spirit of sport.
Yeah, the problem there is because if they could actually leave it like that, that the best team would always win. But then you see like one team that has more money than all of them will be winning for like
No,
20
I think
years.
that's what they need to do. I think they need to do salary caps, or they need to make the
Yeah,
cars more uniform. They need to make the cars
yeah,
more uniform.
that's why they if a car is faster than any other car, if they notice that it's too fast, then they'll either they'll say that this is not is you're getting an unfair advantage, you have to take it off. You know, it has always been like that. They want to keep the sport
I mean,
But
competitive.
they
but
want
there's
to
a
keep
problem.
they want to keep the pit crews and the teams and the engineers competitive as well. So you can't just be
Yes.
perfectly uniform. They have to have a margin where they can show themselves to
Oh
be
yeah, well that would
better
be the
than
difference though. But
the
that would be the
opponents,
difference.
not just
What I
the
mean by
car drive.
uniform is that they need to have the same specs each car. But the problem is that the FIA needs to now say that you have to report everything you put on your car. Like for example, we don't know what these guys are using. It's not that it's illegal, but we don't know what they're doing. But if you're bringing in something that's not illegal, you still have to report that you brought it in. You understand what I'm saying? And it
Yeah.
has to be revealed. It has to be revealed to everybody so that they can now try to catch up and do it. They have to report. They should report new innovations, and that's because but it's a very complex issue. But my thing is that they're taking it too far with things like you said. They're rigging it. There's a difference between making it more competitive and rigging it. If you let a team do a pit
Yeah.
stop for 7 laps, that's rigging. That's different. Rigging a race is not good.
Regan,
Same thing
I
they did it for Verstappen that year. What do you guys think? They cheated for
yeah,
Verstappen when
2021.
he beat Hamilton.
I mean, yeah, they did that very well, and that's what is happening to Verstappen now. Is
Oh
facing
yeah, they're doing it after they won a new
the
champion.
other way around.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing, Verstappen
So,
is not like Lewis Hamilton. You know what Verstappen will do? Verstappen will say, "Okay, I'm finished with." And I've done a psychological study of Verstappen. Verstappen cares. He's an introvert. He only judges himself. He only judges his success by his standards. So if he doesn't win 10 championships, he doesn't care. He'll go to iRacing. So what I'm saying is that Verstappen will walk away from the sport, and everybody will suffer for it. All of F1 will suffer for it. So that's why I'm saying they need to be careful how they treat Verstappen, because Verstappen is their golden fleece, like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan built the NBA. He built Nike. If they want to, they can get rid of Verstappen. Who's going to replace Verstappen's power of narrative if he leaves the sport? It's not going to be Norris. It's not going to be Piastri. Who's going to replace Verstappen? Kunle, who's going to replace him? He's the most valuable person in F1. One of the most valuable. Same thing with Schumacher. Imagine there was no Schumacher in F1 for those 10 years. Who was going to replace him as far as a story to talk about? It wasn't until Lewis Hamilton came. Or imagine Lewis Hamilton had started quitting after when this guy beat him, Rosberg beat him. What would have happened to F1? You see what I'm saying?
I've just been kind of bland.
And here's the thing: they let Hamilton win for 6 years in a row. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Then, so my thing is they say it would be boring. It was boring when Hamilton was winning for 6 years, but nobody complained. Yeah. Nobody complained. Mercedes was winning for 6 years. It was either Hamilton or Rosberg. I didn't hear people complaining. When Vettel won for 5 years, I didn't hear. Why are they now complaining when Verstappen? I'm telling you, they don't like that guy for some reason.
I think because somehow the fan base that watches Formula One is predominantly English.
Yeah, that's the problem. The only good, and now that because a lot of the F1 fans, this Drive to Survive crew, blonde girls and stuff, they want to see, and they're still trying to rig it for Norris, but they can't rig it for Norris because his teammate won't allow it. What were you gonna say, Johnny?
I think one of the reasons why they're making noise with Verstappen, because when Verstappen was coming up, on his way up, he actually made a lot of enemies. Remember when he was coming, he used to crash. They used to call him
Verstappen was crazy. He was wild. He was.
He used to crash into many people at the first 2-3 years, So,
okay. So let's wrap up the second half of our show. It's only gonna be about 5 minutes.
We pushed a bit far. I have to pick up my kids now from school.
Oh yeah, you can go pick them up. Do you have 3 minutes? 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes. This guy, Horner, said that in hindsight they should have kept Verstappen out for 4 laps. He also admitted the mistakes that they made with telling him to pit. He said that they told him to give the place back because it looked like he could get a penalty. Yeah. But they were looking at the videos, and the stewards were looking at the videos, and it was clear that Russell lost control of his car and sort of bumped into Verstappen. So to me, that was a borderline case, and there wouldn't have been a problem if they asked him to give back a spot. That's better than him losing his temper and now coming to 10th place. So I think Red Bull is fucking up, and if they're not careful, Verstappen will leave. Because I think his anger really, more than anything, he's angry at the team. You could tell it yesterday. What do you think, Johnny? Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
The team is letting him down because he's working hard for that team. Go ahead, Mr. Johnny.
Yeah, because I think because of that bump that he gave, what's his name, Russell.
Leclerc,
so they thought that they might just, by him giving the place back, they might. Or was it before he bumped Russell before or after they asked him?
No, Russell made contact.
Was before.
Russell made contact.
I mean the one where
the place back and was so upset because he felt Russell had bumped him.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that more. But then my main thing is that a lot of mistakes were made by Red Bull. They made him give up that. They shouldn't have asked him to give up that place. They shouldn't have asked him to get a place, and they made tire mistakes. And what's annoying for Verstappen is that he works very hard with the team, gave them feedback. He did a brilliant 3-stop strategy, and all of it fell apart, mostly due to his team. So Red Bull should be very careful because they could lose him. And if they lose him, it's not that he's being disloyal, it's that he's reached his limits of frustration, where he'll either go to another team or quit. Okay, last thoughts, Kunle.
Yeah, so we've seen a very dramatic Spanish Grand Prix in which the McLarens came out top again with controversy arising around the Red Bulls and the Mercedes cars, with Ferrari doing a little bit better, but with Hamilton being a little bit on the down low. So we are looking forward now to the Austrian Grand Prix. It's also another fast track with lots of overtaking. and lots of drama, very technical with thrills and spills as we enjoy the European circuitry. Many of these European tracks are full of overtaking. So let's look forward to the next few races. And
Okay,
for
thank you.
me, Johnny, Mustafa, we bid you a fair goodwill until the
Yeah,
next
I
time.
did.
We bid
I
you.
do. I do. I do. Hey, Kool-Aid, very quickly. All you know what Diddy said about Verstappen about Lewis Hamilton when Lewis Hamilton said, "Ah, he ain't bad. Just oil him up. Oil him up, man." Let's go. So, Kool-Aid, if we're doing that Israel thing, what time can we do it? What time will you be available again?
Let me get back. I'll be back in about
2 hours.
45 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, 2
All right.
hours. 2 hours.
Thanks, Mr. Johnny. It's a nice one. So, Mr. Johnny, we're not doing a show tomorrow. Next show is Wednesday. But I'll send you info for thumbnails. Thanks. Goodbye, guys.
The thumbnail might take a bit longer for the thumbnail.
The one you're doing now.
No, there's no lights on my battery, my phone, and my my laptop.
Okay.
You can go, Kool-Aid. Yeah. So yeah. Right. How long do you think it'll take? 3 hours, 4 hours? Because if not, then I might have to just do one emergency. Yeah.
I'll try and do it quickly. I only have like 10% left. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know when the green light. Oh, okay, yeah, 2 hours. Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. So, okay.